Hi everyone, this is Dr. Michele Alignay, your family psychologist. Welcome to Coffee Break with Dr. Michele. I'm going to have conversations with you about family life, relationships, and faith, and I hope you join our conversations here at this YouTube channel. Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to Coffee Break. Yes, it's an afternoon. So even though that I postponed the schedule of Coffee Break, of course, it's a Tuesday. We will have discussions. We will have kwentuhan at magkukumustahan tayo. Kahit na I am so busy, I cannot bear not to have Coffee Break with you. So this afternoon, thank you for joining me. Wow, Belle, thank you. And good morning to you. Good afternoon. I'm so used to saying good afternoon. Pero kumusta kayo ngayong hapon? Kumusta ang kalahating araw na meron kayo? And I encourage you, please share this to family and friends who just might need it, because we're going to talk about something very critical, and that is intellectual wellness. I like our topic because baka tanong nyo, ma'am, bakit ka absent ngayong umaga? Because I gave a talk to our friends from Ateneo de Manila Junior High School faculty and staff. We had a wonderful morning talking about psycho-emotional well-being. And I like it that the schools are taking care of the teachers, because when you take care, for me, I am a teacher myself and I teach in the college. Pag inalagaan mo yung teacher, mas kaya nilang alagaan yung mga bata. Because that, and I would say that also to people in the helping profession. That's why we have to understand that intellectual wellness, it's very important, it's very critical. Why is it critical? Everything starts in the head. Everything happens in the head. Diba? Sino po sa inyo yung nakaramdam ng intellectual overload nitong mga nakaraang araw? Too many information, too many webinars, too many things to digest, too many things to understand, too many things to prepare. Kasi kung hindi kayo ganon, ako ganon. I've been planning a lot of content. I've been doing a lot of mind work. I call it mind work. Mga bagay na dapat pag-isipan, mga bagay na dapat pagplanuhan, all the content that I'm putting out, I have to plan it, I have to read about it. And really, it's really tough because I just don't speak. I use my intellect. So I don't know what you have in your plate, but I believe that intellectual wellness is very critical. Yes, there are other dimensions of wellness. There are other areas of our well-being that we need to take care of. And that is why it's very critical for us to start in our intellect. As we know, intellectual well-being means that it is the mental processes that we have. So how do we define intellectual wellness? It's growing in our intellect. It's maintaining our curiosity. Curious pa ba tayo? Gusto pa ba natin matuto? Valuing lifelong learning and responding positively to the intellectual challenges that we may be encountering. So a lot of us are into webinars, lalo na yung mga teachers, and webinar here, webinar there, here and there. But sometimes, ako mismo napapagod. Napapagod ako sa ginagawa ko. Hindi ako napapagod sa ginagawa ko like now I'm speaking to you. Pero napapagod po ako really to prepare. Napapagod ako because it's just not preparing na kung ano lang yung makita ko na isusulat ko. But it's really preparing by digesting everything and then putting things out in ways that you, my dear friends, would understand. So like in my webinars, I have to read a lot of resource materials about it. Hindi naman yan isang libro lang na babasahin tapos ito na kokopihin ko. It doesn't work that way. Kasi parang plagiarism yon. Pero the other thing is that we combine a lot of sources to be able to put out solid content. So thank you, friends, for being present. So ang tanong ko sa inyo, nababurn out na ba kayo intellectually? Sino sa inyo naka-encounter ng sobrang daming nasa utak? Say me! So, sino sa inyo yung naka-encounter na overthinking, sa dami ng news na binasa, analyze, siguro kasi ganito yung ginawa nila sa kongreso, siguro kasi dapat ganito, and sorry, pagdasal na lang natin sila, hindi naman tayo kasama sa proseso, kasama tayo sa pagproseso ng pagdadasal. Pero friends, wag mo nang idagdag sa isipin mo yung iniisip nila. Kasi hindi mo trabahong mag-isip para sa kanila. Trabaho mo mag-isip para sa sarili mo. So, what else? Overthinking. And then, who among you are maxed out? Ako, I know I'm maxed out. What do you mean by maxed out? You know, maxed out, parang maxed out, like sa credit card, yung na-maximize mo na yung credit limit. Same way with our intellect. We feel maxed out sometimes. Kumbaga, if it's a mug, like I have a big mug today because I'm taking cold coffee. If it's a big mug, tama ka, Mia. Pigang-piga na yung utak sa kaiisip, paano pagkakasyahin lahat ng gagawin sa isang araw, paano magkakaroon ng extra income, etc., etc. Paano mo pa ipaplano yung mga ulam at mga activities at mga learning things ng mga bagets, 'di ba? Paano nga ba 'yon? Paano nga ba pagkakasyahin lahat? I love your point, Mia. Sending my virtual hugs to you, Sister Mia Bueno. That's really it. We are maxed out. And minsan, parang mug, punong-puno, saan mo pa siya isisiksik? Friends, ganyan din po yung ating intellect, ganyan din yung utak natin. Kaya nangyayari yung burnout, it's because sumobra na. We did not take note of our tipping point. What's tipping point? We are already maxed out and we tried to, try to balance still, even we're maxed out. And we are running almost empty on the energy that we are giving out, while we try to balance everything that's in our head, everything that's in our heart, everything that is in our plate, and literally what we're going to put on the plate and what we're going to put on the table. Are you understanding me, friends? So, sino sa inyo ang namamaxed out? Kasi pag narinig natin na maxed out na ako, ibig sabihin posibleng malapit na rin yung burnout. But it starts within the head. Everything starts in the head. There's this old saying that I love so much. I think it's Lao Tzu that said that. He said that our thoughts becomes our destiny. What do you mean by that? Be careful with your thoughts. They become your words. Kung ano yung nasa isip, nagiging salita. Diba? And the word was made flesh. So, what's in our thoughts, it becomes our words. What's in our words, be careful with our thoughts, it becomes our words. Our words becomes our action. Our actions becomes our habits. And our habits becomes our destiny. So, our thoughts becomes our destiny. So, imagine every day we're being consumed by anxiety, we're consumed by fear, we're consumed by everything that is happening. So what happens to us? What happens to you, friends, if you're too consumed by so many things? Then, there's the tendency that we will be maxed out and burned out. Kumbaga, sa utak pa lang, kaiisip pa lang natin on what we're going to do, what we're going to prepare, what we're going to say, how we're going to work, how am I going to earn. Friends, sa utak pa lang, pagod na tayo kasi punong-puno na. And then that's what the coffee break session is here this afternoon for. So let's talk about, for us to be able to have emotional wellness, let's talk about intellectual self-care. Meron ganon? Yeah, pausuhin natin. We need to talk about intellectual self-care. It's because it's very critical for us to take care of our thoughts, to take care of the things in our heads, to take care of what we allow to get into our heads. So, imagine all this news that we are getting at the moment. Imagine all the bills that we're reading. Imagine all the work that we are absorbing and the work that we need to plan out. Imagine doing everything. So it means that we need to continuously stop, pause, and do something else a bit para lang kung ang telepono mo nire-recharge tayo pa, yung utak pa natin. That's why we need to continuously take care of ourselves intellectually for this session. So are you with me? Can you press heart, friends, kung nakaka-relate kayo sa sinasabi ko na minsan sa isip pa lang pagod na tayo? So kung kayo po ay nakakaramdam ng ganyan na sumasakit yung ulo natin, hindi tayo matulog, minsan we have migraines, minsan it becomes our tummy ache, minsan it becomes a lot of aches, and minsan it's really headache and heartaches for us. Friends, listen to your body. Listen to the signals. Another thing that's a signal that we're totally maxed out. We can no longer be creative. Yung dapat nating tayong makapag-produce ng isang bagay pero hindi natin maisip. Um, uh, I have this experience when I was writing my doctoral dissertation. Dissertation, it's the thesis in PhD. When I was doing my dissertation, thank you. You're saying nag-e-echo, Doc Ichel. Thank you. Yeah. Am I still echoing? I hope not. So, when I was doing the dissertation, I realized imagine the whole day just writing research. So I was doing it for years, but there was a time that I have to continuously derive the data that I'm gathering and then to continue the analysis. And then that time, I realized that the best time that I got to think well, of course, in the morning, early in the morning. And another thing, ang napansin ko sa sarili ko, pag pagod na yung utak ko, the good ideas no longer comes out. So, what I do is that I have to take breaks in between. Kasi napansin ko, pag pagod na ako and then I have to go to the bathroom for a bathroom break, or I have to just eat for a while, or I just have to take a call, or even take a nap, most of the time, the best ideas comes in the bathroom, in the shower. Have you experienced that? Na meron tayong deadlock moment and we cannot think of a solution to something. We cannot connect things anymore because there's just too much in our heads, and then suddenly there's a eureka moment. And that happens to me many times in the bathroom. And even two friends of mine, my two MA students, Tin and Roan, who were assisting me during my research time, they were always laughing whenever I would step out of the bathroom, because I literally would jump off the bathroom, tatalon ako palabas, and then tell them, just a pee break. Pag talon ka ng bathroom, sabihin ko sa kanila, girls, I know now. It means that the analysis that we've been trying to do, I know now the reason. I know the analysis for this. And you're right, Myra. Sometimes in the shower, yes, we can think better. Why? Because we're relaxed. And that's what we need to do to even our intellect needs a break. So, these are the intellectual self-care strategies na pwede natin ma-apply. One is that acceptance of things you can and cannot control. Alam mo, paborito natin itong sabihin here in Coffee Break eh. We need to accept the things that we cannot control. Yan yung unang-una. And then, pag hindi mo kontrolado isang bagay, let go of it. Hindi natin kontrolado ang mga utak ng marami sa mga leaders natin, and then just pray for them. Just pray for them. So it is really important. And what can we control? We can control how we deal with the situation. Do we need to watch the news every day and just be crippled by fear, be crippled by uncertainty and anxiety? So if you think you have enough, don't let what you learn consume you. If you will allow it to consume you, just make sure that it's going to help you and not going to make you sick. Okay? That's clear. That's acceptance of things you can and you cannot control. As I always say, pray the prayer for serenity for this. Another one. Next is B. Be more aware of your thoughts, and how your mental and emotional wellness is affected by your thoughts. Be more aware. Be more aware kung ano yung nasa isip mo. Nakakatulang ba o hindi? Yan. Kasi if you will think about it, try to think what's in your thoughts. Sometimes when mindfulness happens, it's being more aware of our thoughts. My meditation, it's just not being quiet. Meditation is sitting down there and not judging our thoughts. So if your thoughts say that I am anxious, you don't judge yourself and say, bakit ka anxious, hindi dapat yan? No. And then you try to inquire, or you try to observe what's causing the anxiety. So here, becoming more aware of your thoughts. when we are anxious, when something we are frustrated, we have to check where is that frustration coming from. And then we will check how it is affecting my emotion and my reaction to the people or to the circumstances around me. So acceptance and being there and being more aware is critical. Why? Many people go through life lacking self-awareness. Kaya kahit sabihin mo na sobrang galing nila, they are not in command of their emotions. They just lash out to everybody. They think that everybody is the problem other than themselves. So here, intellectual self-care is being more aware of how our thoughts is affecting our mental and emotional processes, which is very critical at this time. So here, acceptance. The next is being more aware of your thoughts. And third, choose to see the positive and the possibilities. So it's Tuesday, friends. It's coffee break day. But I invite you to letter C. That's choosing to see the positive and other possibilities that may be ahead of us. It's very, very, very critical for us to see that there is always two sides of the coin, the positive and the negative. There are always possibilities. Hindi naman sinabi nating lahat may good and bad kasi minsan pareho naman good. Mas mahirap po yun kasi may mga bagay pareho naman maayos. Maganda naman talaga intensyon. Pero ano dyan yung mas makakatulong, mas helpful, at mas in sync sa atin. So, choose to see the positive and choose to see the possibilities. The possibilities of unemployment, the possibilities of this COVID pandemic, and all the crisis situation that we are in right now. We have to continuously see the possibility that, for example, our kids are learning from home, they're learning digital. Soon, baka mas matuto pa tayo yung may karagdagang kaalaman with them. So that's choosing the positive and choosing possibilities. The hardest thing that happens during a crisis situation is that we fail to see the possibilities in things. So this is really an invitation. If you want to have better intellectual self-care or better wellness in your intellect, we have to continuously see possibilities and the positive. Okay? And D, do a digital detox. Friends, do you do a digital detox? Do you log out of FB? Do you log out of your social media accounts? Personally, me, I do that because I don't want to be consumed by all the news, by everything that's happening online. When I had enough, I logged out because it's important for me to do a digital detox. Last week, what I encountered, nauumay na ako humarap sa laptop to do PowerPoint presentations, to do my slide deck. But sabi ko, I need to do that. So there are days that I will just get paper and pen because the sight of the laptop, it's literally, I feel like vomiting. So I feel that, okay, this is no longer okay. So, I am aware that I am not in control of, I am in control of my schedule. I am in control of how I react to the situation. And then I have to be more aware of, parang sobra na yung nasa isip ko with all the content that I need to put out. But I need to see other possibilities. Yes, thank you, Lord, that I have work. Thank you, Lord, I have projects. So, right now, I'll do a digital detox. Hindi ko kayang gawin lahat ng 5 items sa to-do list ko. Pero yung 2, I'll see other possibilities. Kasi, I took a nap one time and the other time I just sit down and just sit down. And then after a while, I'm better again. So, yun yung sinasabi ko, do a digital detox. We don't in this time that digital is the need and we have to be on our gadgets, we need to deliberately take steps so as not to overly stimulate our intellect, and it is very critical. So that's the digital detox. So A, acceptance. B, be more aware of your thoughts. C, choose to see the positive and the possibilities. And D, do a digital detox. And E, enrich yourself with new learnings. Yung mga natututunan natin sa coffee break, nakaka-enrich po ba sa buhay nyo? Sana naman. Kasi yun yung purpose kung bakit ginagawa, to enrich our family life, to enrich our well-being, and to enrich each one of us, pati ako, kaya kahit na sometimes the schedule will not match, I need to adjust because for me, we are enriching ourselves and our well-being with new learning. So can I just, if you are enriched with this coffee break sessions, for the friends who are here watching, can you just tell me, not just with this episode, for the past episodes, can you just give me one phrase that you learned here in Coffee Break? Can you just give me one eureka moment or realization that you have in this Coffee Break session? Because I would like to understand also kung paano to nakatulong sa inyo. Because ako, I'm always reminded also of my self-care. I'm always reminded of to connect more with my kids, to connect more with my loved ones. So those things, I'm reading it, I'm teaching it, but I'm also reminded by this thing. So here, can you just share with me one significant learning that you have during coffee break sessions? So there, so that is to enrich yourself with new learnings. You don't need to sign up for all the new learning platforms, to all the webinars, sa lahat ng mga bagong offerings. You don't need to sign up because it's going to be information overload. The problem is that's not our problem, it's not information overload. Our problem is filter failure. Hindi natin ma-filter kung ano yung hindi kailangan. So friends, you have to enrich yourself with new learnings. Pero kung hindi makakatulong sa inyo, say no. So I like reading what you're saying. Coffee break, inspiring. Thank you, Myra. Sabi ni Ate Ami, take care of myself. Yes, Ate Ami, take care of yourself. Rowell, self-care, limit yourself from saying yes. Yes, I love that. Eileen, learn to say no. True. Drangle, we can have it all one at a time. Oo, isa-isa lang because something's gotta give. Sheila, it's okay not to be okay and to learn to say no. Agree. Myra, disconnect to connect. Glenda, know the things that you can and cannot control. Agree. Teresita, nakakagaan po ng alalahin every time I listen and watch you. Salamat din. Lizelle, how are you, my dear? Healthy boundaries and levels of relationship and meaningful connection. That's wonderful. Ellen, you can say no. Joy, your talks are very enriching and inspiring. Eileen, progress, not perfection. And Maria, Monica, we can do all things but not all at the same time. Yan, salamat. Ibig sabihin, may natutunan kayo. Alam ko lahat tayo. Ako rin may mga natututunan sa mga sinasabi nyo. Nakikita ko rin yung realidad, nakikita ko rin kung ano yung mga perspective ng iba at yung pinagdadaanan nyo. So, we enrich each other lives. And enrich yourself with new learnings doesn't just mean going on webinars, but it means that what is this pandemic situation teaching us? It's teaching us also to simplify. It's teaching us also to focus on the more important things. It's teaching us to confront issues with our families, or hindi naman mang-away, pero ayusin yung mga issues na loose ends sa pamilya, dahil ilang buwan na po tayong magkakasama ng walang tulugan dito sa bahay. Ibig sabihin, walang alisan, kayo rin na magkakasama. So that's March, April, May, June, July, April, May, June, July. 4 months full we are with our family. 4 months full we are at home. Kung lumabas man, bilang na natin sa daliri every time that we would go out. That's why I hope that we are just not learning from our online webinars, our online engagements, but we are also learning from life. Okay? That's E. And F. F is foster your new skills and hobbies. So, how are you? Have you enriched a new hobby? May bago ka bang na-discover with yourself? So, friends, I became a plantita. So, sabi nila, plantita, matagal na akong may plants dito sa bahay, pero puro cuttings lang. You know what, cuttings and a few potted plants. But I really did not realize that I would pot plants. Yes, I've been doing that, and I started with just some plants, and then now dumami na sila, and then I like it because it's also connected to my other interests, and I'm learning more about my other hobby, which is soap making, and it's wonderful because we need to continue doing that. We need to have that other creative side. We need to have a pause with all the intellectually stimulating, all the mind-boggling matters that we are dealing with. So friends, give it to yourself. Establish a new hobby, get to know your other side, foster your new skills, and foster yourself, because that's self-care. We are all learning. Okay? Thank you, Glenda. Plantita here po. Yes, we have become the moms that we know. Our moms were like that. My lola was like that, and parang, oh, I'm getting plants from my mom. Okay. So, and lastly, so that's A, acceptance of things you can or cannot control. B, being more aware of your thoughts affects your mental and emotional wellness. And C, choose to see the positive or the possibilities. D, do a digital detox. E, enrich yourself with new learnings. F, foster your new skills and hobbies. And G, grow through the adversity. Ang bigat. Lagi kong tinatandaan yung sinabi ng paborito kong priest na si Father Joel Hason in one of his homilies during, I think that was the Holy Week. We just don't only go through, we grow through this crisis. Diba? We just not survive, but we've thrived. And I believe, friends, in your own way, you are growing. We are thriving. Because when we grow through this adversity, what else can happen? We have survived a pandemic. I would like you to reflect on this last point. We grow through this adversity. I'll be very honest with you, friends. I am in a state that I am much at peace at this point. Yes, there are a lot of things that's going to happen. Yes, there are a lot of uncertainty. Pero alam nyo, I've faced enough crisis in my life. And if you look at your own life, you face so many crises, so many problems, so many battles that we are looking too far. We're looking at the news. We're looking at the things beyond our control. We don't realize that the seeds for growth, yung tinatawag na growth mindset, the first thing that we should do to be able to have that growth mindset is to look at our own growth resources. Because nandyan na yan sa atin eh. Hinanda na tayo ng tadhana. Tandaan niyo yung mga oras na parang walang mangyayari, but we just continue moving and we can just continue praying. Alam niyo yung mga pagkakataon sa buhay natin na dasal lang tayo ng dasal, hindi natin alam kung saan tayo dadalhin ng dasal na yon. Pero look at us now. Tandaan niyo yung panahon na parang walang sagot sa dami ng issue, sa dami ng problema dumating. Tandaan niyo yung panahon na parang walang pera? But parang kulang yung finances? But look at where you are now. Friends, we have been trained by life. It's just a matter na naging stressful ngayon because it's magnified, because it's a pandemic, it's a global event. But look at yourself individually. Look at your own family. You just might have that resources already that you don't access and you don't appreciate because you're looking far out. Intellectual self-care and intellectual wellness, you need to start looking at your blessing. You need to start looking at how you have grown. And all this information and all this knowledge and all this wisdom na nandyan maybe in your subconscious, maybe in your unconscious, pull them out, put them together. Because that's exactly how you're going to navigate this adversity so you can grow through this crisis. You can be intellectually well because we are prepared for it. Hindi tayo magiging stronger kung hindi tayo inihanda ng pagkakataon to be stronger. People who can grow through this adversity are people who allow themselves to be tested. Tandaan natin yon, ang immune system, kung hindi natin masusubok kung gaano kalakas yan, kung hindi tayo ma-expose sa virus, kung hindi tayo ma-expose sa labas, sa other elements, kung hindi tayo magkakaroon maminsan-minsan ng ubo at sipon. Same way with our grit, same way with our resiliency. We can only measure our resiliency and our intellectual resiliency if we're able to access the crisis situations that we had before, our knowledge, our wisdom, to be able to grow through this adversity. Hindi madali ang panahon ngayon, pero pwede naman tayong ngumiti. Pero ang una, friends, alagaan natin yung ating pag-iisip. Mental health is important. intellectual self-care is a strategy for you to continue being well. Thank you for joining me for this afternoon's coffee break. And for those of you who would like to add on to their learning for our digital families workshop tomorrow, Wednesday night, I'll be conducting my second session. So for those of you who would like to catch up, look for the link in Michele Alignay page. My topic for tomorrow, it's digital well-being, creating healthy digital media practices for the kids and the family. You can still join me, but today is the deadline. Tonight is a deadline both for the registration and the investment fee. So please come and join me for that session. But I hope that you've learned something and you continue taking care of your mind so you can be better in taking care of other people. God bless you all. See you again on Thursday for Coffee Break.